This is All India Radio. We now bring you a special news program on COVID-19. Good evening. I am VC Pramod and with me is Renuka RS. The headlines. Indian Armed Forces express gratitude to the Corona warriors across the country by showering flower petals, playing bands, fly-pasts and lighting warships. President, Vice President and Prime Minister laud the Armed Forces for honouring COVID warriors. Coronavirus doubling rate rises to 12 days in the last 3 days. Home Ministry sets up control room to resolve complaints and issues of drivers and transporters on passage of goods carriers. Third phase of lockdown to come into effect from tomorrow. And second special relief train with 956 students reaches Dhanbad. The nation today witnessed a showcase in solidarity by Indian Armed Forces to the COVID-19 warriors across the country in a novel way. The Air Force shot flower petals over COVID-19 hospitals, while Army and Navy showed their gratitude by playing military bands and other gestures, saluting coronavirus warriors. Naval vessels were also illuminated. Representatives of the three services laid wreaths at the National Police Memorial in Delhi, honouring the efforts of the police forces for their exceptional and heroic efforts in the fight against the pandemic. Flower petals were showered on the National Police Memorial, saluting the efforts of the police. Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat had announced on Friday that the three services will carry out a series of activities to thank the Corona warriors. More from our correspondent.
Light rain and overcast skies added magic to the atmosphere even as Indian Air Force showered red-hued petals at hospitals across the city, including Sir Gangaram Hospital, Deen Dayal Upadhyay Hospital and Lok Nayak Jaiprakash Narayan Hospital. Sukhoi 30 MKIs, MiG-29s and Jaguars conducted a flypast over Rajpath, orbited over the city for over half an hour. The jets showering petals could be clearly seen in the sky and warmed the heart of many people in these difficult times. The Indian Army Band also performed at the COVID-19 Quarantine Center at Narela. The Armed Forces' efforts to lift the morale of the Corona warriors have garnered praise from everyone, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi. With Anand Chaturvedi, Suparna Saikya, AIR News, Delhi.
In honour of the frontline staff battling the COVID-19 pandemic, the Indian Air Force helicopter shot flower petals over two COVID-designated government hospitals in Chennai today. The gesture is in honour of the doctors, nurses, paramedics, police, fire service personnel and sanitary staff who selflessly waged a war against the perfidious virus. The number of infected cases crossed the 3,000 mark today in Tamil Nadu. In a new high, 266 new cases were reported today, including 203 in Chennai. The active caseload remains 1,611. One person died of the disease today, taking the toll to 30. More from our correspondent.
In the most infected Chennai containment zones, search and catch strategy is being adopted to identify hidden COVID-19 cases, so that the pandemic can be controlled at the earliest. As part of the method, all those in a congested street where a patient has been reported are being tested. As the caseload increases in Chennai, the city's civic body is augmenting the bed capacity to accommodate new patients whenever required. All schools and colleges in Chennai have been brought under the corporation control, and marriage halls are also going to be brought at its disposal. The officials have reiterated that more than 90% of the patients identified through testing are asymptomatic. Jai Singh, AIR News, Chennai.
Indian Air Force Chinook has showered flowers on frontline health workers standing at S&M Hospital in Leh today. A report.
Twin-engine tandem-rotor Chinook helicopter is publicly seen for the first time in the Ladakh airspace. Named after ancient tribe Chinooks, the heaviest helicopter can carry 54 combat-ready troops and can induct them straight into the battlefield. Chinook is meant for the high-altitude heavy-duty requirements in the frozen northern frontiers. Chinook, which can fly at over 300 kilometers per hour, wheeled slowly over the Leh town while public watched the mighty flying beast with amaze-filled eyes. Chinook gently dropped floral petals, leaves and glazed papers on the standing doctors and paramedics at S&M Hospital in Leh to make the event colorful and memorable. The Chinook repeated the event at Army Run General Hospital. Ramesh Chandra, Leh.
The armed forces in Assam also paid their respect and showed solidarity to all the Corona warriors. A report.
In Guwahati, the solidarity was shown in the form of three Sukhoi 30 flying over the State Legislative Assembly. Flowers petals were dropped from an Air Force helicopter over the Guwahati Medical College and Hospital and Mahendra Mohan Chaudhary Hospital. The Air Force band played mesmerizing tunes for all the Corona warriors. All the doctors, nurses, paramedical staff, and other frontline workers witnessed the display of the armed forces and also expressed their gratitude. The army also paid tribute to the police personnel at other places in Assam who are working tirelessly to make the lockdown successful. Manas Patim Sharma, AR News, Guwahati.
The Maharashtra government today announced that shops selling non-essential commodities including liquor will be allowed to open from tomorrow in the COVID-19 non-containment zones across the state. Senior IAS officer from Maharashtra Chief Minister's Office, Bhushan Gagrani, said that the decision extended the easing of restrictions for shops in the red zones. Earlier, the green and orange zones were given permission to run shops. He added that the timing of the shops will be finalized by the local authorities such as municipal commissioners as well as district collectors. Gagrani also informed that no construction activities will be allowed in red zones. Also, hotels, malls, beauty parlours will remain closed. He added that no railway train service will operate from Mumbai or Pune. More from our correspondent.
The state government has informed that sale of liquor in stand-alone shops and shops selling non-essential commodities like clothes, footwear, liquor, stationery, among others, will be opened in non-containment areas in the red zone cities. It said that only 5 such shops in one lane will be allowed to operate during the entire day, and social distancing norms will have to be followed by all the shops. As part of thanksgiving to COVID-19 warriors, the Indian Air Force and Indian Coast Guard joined the nation by showering flowers on the state-run JJ Hospital, KM Hospital and Kasturba Gandhi Hospital, where coronavirus patients are being treated. At the Western Command in Mumbai, 5 naval ships have been illuminated off Gateway of India. These ships also have banners of India salutes coronavirus written on them. In another development, Sassoon General Hospital in Pune has received the ICMR's nod to apply plasma therapy on critical COVID-19 patients. Meanwhile, another Shramik special train left for Gorakhpur in Uttar Pradesh carrying more than 1100 migrant laborers this morning from Vasai Road Station in Palghar district. With Nivedita, Kunal Shinde, AIR News, Mumbai.
President Ramnath Kovind has appreciated the gesture of the armed forces to express the country's gratitude towards all frontline warriors leading the fight against COVID-19. In a tweet, President said, "The nation stands united as everyone reiterates the resolve to defeat coronavirus through the collective determination and discipline." Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu welcomed the gesture of armed forces in conducting flypasts and playing military bands in front of hospitals as a tribute to sacrifices and selfless service of frontline corona warriors. He said the band display by the Indian Army, formations by naval ships and showering of petals by Air Force is an expression of solidarity with corona warriors. Mr. Naidu said the nation is grateful for the services of all the frontline warriors who place the safety and health of the citizens above everything else. He also complimented the Indian citizens for having so far displayed a firm and collective resolve in the fight against COVID-19 pandemic. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has lauded the armed forces for honouring the COVID warriors. In a tweet, Prime Minister said it is a great gesture by the armed forces. On Friday, Prime Minister welcomed the move after the announcement by the Chief of Defence Staff to carry out activities thanking the corona warriors by the 3 services. Prime Minister had said that Indian armed forces have always kept the nation safe, and even in times of disasters, they are out there helping people. He said now the forces have thanked the frontline COVID-19 warriors for their endeavour towards making India COVID-19 free in a unique way. He said India has waged a strong fight against COVID-19 due to courageous frontline warriors who have cared and cured many. The Prime Minister said they are spectacular and India applauds them and their families. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has tweeted a video showcasing the activities of the armed forces honouring the efforts of COVID-19 warriors in India Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has appreciated efforts of the armed forces today for carrying out hundreds of activities at various locations across the country on ground, in water and air to salute the Corona warriors. Referring to the flypasts and showering of petals by helicopters of Indian Air Force, Navy and Coast Guards on hospitals, he said they saluted the nation's resolve and unity in overcoming the challenges posed by COVID-19.
Resident Doctors Association of All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, has written to Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat appreciating the morale-boosting gestures by the Defence Services. The gesture of the Defence Services for standing in solidarity with doctors in the fight against COVID-19 pandemic. In the letter, the Resident Doctors Association said flypasts, showering of flower petals in COVID hospitals, playing of military bands were heartwarming gestures to showcase solidarity with the country's COVID-19 warriors. Speaking exclusively to AIR News, President of Indian Medical Association, Dr. Rajan Sharma, thanked the Defence Forces for the unique and historical display of solitude towards the COVID warriors.
I thank them from the core of my heart and from all my healthcare community, doctors, nursing and healthcare professionals. And it is a welcome gesture. And coming from the armed forces, it is all the more heartening because they are our heroes and our protectors. And if they express their love and affection and wisdom for our profession in this time of crisis, it is a welcome relief in the times of stress. And thanks of armed forces for this gesture.
Coronavirus doubling rate for the past 3 days is 12. For 7 days, 11.7, and for 14 days, it is 10.4. Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan has stated that the prevention, containment and management of COVID-19 in the country is being monitored regularly at highest level in collaboration with the states. The Health Minister added over 10 lakh tests till date have been conducted and over 74,000 tests in a day currently being done. He further said that the government has distributed around 20 lakh PPE kits all over India and supplied medicines, both hydroxychloroquine and paracetamol, to more than 100 countries world over. The recovery rate of COVID-19 patients has improved to over 26% in the country. A total of 10,887 people have recovered after treatment and were discharged from the hospitals. In the last 24 hours, 682 patients have recovered. The total number of confirmed cases in the country now stands at 40,263, while a total of 1,306 deaths have been reported so far. With this, there are now 28,070 active cases in the country. Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan today visited Lady Hardinge Medical College, LHMC, in New Delhi to review status of COVID-19 management. Keeping in view of the emerging requirements for hospitals' preparedness, LHMC and associated hospitals, Sucheta Kriplani Hospital and Kalavati Saran Children's Hospital is functioning as dedicated COVID-19 hospital consisting of adequate isolation wards and beds. The minister visited the hospital emergency, OPD sampling center, critical areas of COVID-19 block and changing facility for doctors and health workers. At the COVID block, the minister spoke through video call to 2 doctors who were infected with COVID-19 while treating patients at LHMC. They were admitted at the facility. Union Minister also interacted with 2 patients admitted in the COVID ward through video, who in turn apprised the minister about the facilities in COVID ward. After a detailed review and inspection of the various wards and premises of the hospital, he expressed satisfaction at the working of the various units. Dr. Vardhan also commended the frontline caregivers such as nurses, doctors and other healthcare personnel for the resilience, hard work, dedication and commitment shown by them in dealing with COVID-19.
सभी हमारे डॉक्टर्स, नर्सेज और साथियों का जो स्पिरिट है वो बहुत हाई है। इंडियन एयर फोर्स ने भी जो है इन सब हमारे कोरोना वॉरियर्स का आकाश से अभिनंदन किया है। उसके लिए मैं इंडियन एयर फोर्स का भी धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं। देश में दिन प्रतिदिन कोरोना के खिलाफ लड़ाई में हमारी परिस्थिति बेहतर होती जा रही है।
In our Expert Speak on All India Radio, we bring you the views of the leading medical experts on COVID-19. Dr. V.K. Paul, member, Niti Aayog, while interacting with AIR News, appealed to the following directions of the government.
रियायतें जो दी गई हैं वो इस कॉन्फिडेंस के बदौलत दी गई हैं कि हम इस महामारी का जो मुकाबला कर रहे हैं वो हम चौकस होकर करते रहेंगे, लेकिन उसके साथ साथ अपनी जिंदगी को थोड़ा नॉर्मल की तरफ आने के लिए स्टेप बाय स्टेप भी हम आगे आएंगे.
This is All India Radio, bringing you a special program on COVID-19. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Indian Armed Forces express gratitude to the Corona warriors across the country by showering flower petals, playing bands, flypasts and lighting warships. President, Vice President and Prime Minister laud the Armed Forces for honouring COVID warriors. Coronavirus doubling rate rises to 12 days in the last 3 days. Home Ministry sets up control room to resolve complaints and issues of drivers and transporters on passage of goods carrier. Third phase of lockdown to come into effect from tomorrow. And second special relief train with 956 students reached Dhanbad. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
The third phase of lockdown arising out of COVID-19 pandemic will come into effect from tomorrow. Centre had on Friday announced extension of lockdown for 2 more weeks after 4th of May with considerable relaxations in lower risk districts. Health Ministry has divided all districts of the country into red, orange and green zones and has issued guidelines for each zone. Union Minister Prakash Javadekar has said that in green zones practically all day-to-day activities have been allowed barring congregations. He said government wants to give the message that India is undergoing a phased exit from the lockdown where more and more activities are allowed to be conducted. He said the government is determined to save lives as well as reboot the economy. A report.
Travel by air, rail, metro and interstate movement by road is not allowed even in the third phase of the lockdown. Schools and educational institutions will remain closed. However, all agriculture-related work would continue to be permitted. Industrial and construction-based activities in rural India, including MG Narega works, food processing units and brake kilns would also work as usual. In green zones, all activities other than those not permitted nationwide would be functional. Buses would operate in such zones with 50% seating capacity. Transportation of all goods traffic is permitted across the country. Standalone liquor stores and pawn shops are also allowed to function in non-containment areas. OPDs and medical clinics are permitted to operate in all zones with social distancing norms. All in all, the third phase of lockdown pushes a set of relaxations to bring back normalcy in life and trade. Stay safe and maintain 2 gaj ki duri. With Suparna Saikia, Anand Chaturvedi, AIR News, Delhi.
Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal said that the Delhi government will implement all lockdown relaxations prescribed by the Home Ministry and city government offices engaged in essential services will function with full strength while private offices will open with 33% strength. Mr. Kejriwal informed that the suspension of travel by flight, Delhi Metro and bus will continue in the national capital. He also said malls and market complexes will be shut, but shops selling essential commodities and books and stationery will be allowed to open besides industrial estate. The construction activity will be allowed if workers are staying on site. All agricultural activities are permitted and supply chain activities related to agriculture will function in the city. The Chief Minister said the e-commerce activities only for essential commodities is permitted. Mr. Kejriwal added that Delhi has been declared as red zone and all relaxations that the centre is providing in red zones will be given in the areas. In Uttar Pradesh, the state government has instructed strict compliance with Government of India guidelines to start economic and industrial activities. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has said that Lockdown 3 will be followed firmly with special attention on the containment zones and hotspots. He said essential services, construction work and other industrial works out of containment zones will be permitted with certain restrictions.
Chief Minister Hemant Soren has cleared that the new instructions given by the central government regarding exemption in lockdown in areas falling under green and orange zones will not be applicable in Jharkhand at present. Mr. Soren said that as a precaution, the lockdown will remain in force in the entire Jharkhand state for the next 2 weeks till May 17th. Out of 24 districts of Jharkhand, Ranchi district has been kept under red zone, while 9 districts are under orange zone and 14 districts under green zone, as per the list issued by the Ministry of Home Affairs. The second special relief train with 956 students from Kota, Rajasthan arrived in Dhanbad this evening. The students were welcomed with a warm reception by the Deputy Commissioner and Senior Superintendent of Police at Dhanbad railway station. Apart from Dhanbad, students of Bokaro, Girit, Koderma, Deoghar, Pakur, Sahibganj, Gudda and Jamtara district have come from the special train. Health checkup of all students is being done. The district administration of Dhanbad has arranged sanitized buses to move all the students back to their homes in the respective districts. All students have been medically examined and have been directed to remain in home quarantine for a minimum period of 14 days.
In Uttar Pradesh, another special train carrying 1,200 migrant workers from Sabarmati in Ahmedabad reached Kanpur today. All the workers brought to the state were sent to their respective districts after medical screening and following lockdown guidelines. The first special train carrying 847 migrant workers reached Lucknow this morning. In Madhya Pradesh, the state government has issued a helpline number for labourers of the state stranded elsewhere in the country. This will enable them to register so that they can be brought back. The state government has so far brought 50,000 migrants. A report.
The helpline number on which such labourers can register is 0755 24 11180. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan took to Twitter to urge people to share information about migrant labourers from the state stranded in other parts of the country. Additional Chief Secretary ICP Keshri informed that plans are underway to get back migrant labourers from the state currently stranded in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Goa and Maharashtra by trains. About 6,000 persons were brought back from Gujarat on Saturday. Meanwhile, the number of coronavirus cases in the state rose to 2,788. So far, 624 people have recovered from the coronavirus infection, while 151 have died. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
The Karnataka government organized free transport for migrant labourers today. A release by the Chief Minister's office said that the decision would be applicable till Tuesday and KSRTC buses would not charge any fares from the migrant labourers. Karnataka CM B.S. Yediyurappa has urged the labourers to maintain social distancing at the bus station and assured adequate facilities would be provided to them. The railways had organized 4 trains to Patna, Bhubaneswar and Ranchi today that carried around 5,000 passengers from Bengaluru today. 50 buses were arranged to take the migrant labourers from labour camps to the railway station. More from our correspondent.
The Bruhat Bengaluru Mahanagara Palike Commissioner B.H. Anil Kumar has informed that the State Chief Secretary has written a letter to the Union Home Ministry to declare 177 corporation wards in Bengaluru as green zone. At present, entire Bengaluru urban district is declared as red zone, thereby imposing restrictions on non-essential activities. The Commissioner explained that out of 198 wards in the city, only 21 wards are under containment zones and the rest of the 177 wards do not have any COVID-19 positive cases. He said that government has already allowed standalone shops, cement, steel, electric and plumbing shops to open in the city. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
The Home Ministry Control Room will be utilized for resolving complaints and issues of drivers and transporters. Issues related to passage of goods carrier, including empty trucks, for interstate movement during the extended lockdown period will be resolved. The officers of Road Transport and Highways Ministry are also being deputed in the control room to assist in complaint and grievance resolution. Drivers and transporters can use the Home Ministry control room number 1930 to lodge any complaint pertaining to the lockdown. In addition, NHAI helpline number 1033 is also available for national highway related grievances.
Jammu and Kashmir administration has come up with a unique initiative involving youngsters of the Union Territory. Our correspondent has the details.
The initiative of Jammu and Kashmir State Legal Services Authority to set up a creative activity forum for youngsters continues to draw an enthusiastic response. The initiative is being carried out under the patronage of Chief Justice Jammu and Kashmir High Court, Justice Geeta Mittal, and Executive Chairman Jammu Kashmir State Legal Services Authority, Justice Rajesh Bindal. Jammu Kashmir State Legal Services Authority, in collaboration with Directorates of School Education, Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh, held many creative activities under the banner Activity Corona to engage the children in constructive activities. during the lockdown period. The participants, especially children, through their artistic instincts, highlighted the need for maintaining social distancing to curb the transmission of deadly coronavirus. Sunil Kohl for AR News from Srinagar.
In Uttarakhand, all precautions are being taken by the village pradhans in view of COVID-19. Villagers are following the guidelines of the Government of India regarding the virus. The Chief Secretary of the state, Utpal Kumar Singh, told AIR News that panchayats have been asked to follow the guidelines.
पंचायतों के ग्राम प्रधानों को इस संबंध में हम लोगों ने सारी सूचनाएं कराई हैं और समय समय पर उनसे अपील किया है कि जो सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग के मानक हैं पालन गांव में हो, जो लॉकडाउन करने के आदेश हुए हैं उनका भी अनुपालन वो करवाएं। साथ ही में जो हमारे कृषि कार्य हैं वो एग्जेप्शन की सूची में हैं, तो कृषि कार्य करते हैं। अभी हम लोग ये कह रहे हैं कि मास्क का जो है प्रयोग गांव में हो।
Agricultural activities are being done in the villages of the state, observing social distancing and wearing masks. Development projects and works under Manrega are in progress. Thousands of villagers got employment under the scheme in the state. Gram Pradhan of Jakhnayali village of Tehri Kadwal district, Mrs. Rishita Shriyal, said that villagers are benefiting from the schemes.
हमारी ग्राम पंचायत में मनरेगा के तहत नहरों, चेक डैम आदि कार्यों का निर्माण किया जा रहा है। इसमें 100 से अधिक ग्रामीण मजदूर कार्य कर रहे हैं। ग्राम पंचायत में जिन लोगों के कार्ड बने हैं उनको तो रोजगार मिल ही रहा है, लेकिन उन लोगों को भी जो कि कोरोना संक्रमण के चलते अन्य प्रदेशों से गांव लौट आए हैं, जो कि बेरोजगार हो गए हैं, उनको भी मनरेगा योजना का लाभ दिया जा रहा है। सरकार द्वारा दिए गए सभी निर्देशों का पालन किया जा रहा है। इसके अलावा भारत सरकार की विभिन्न योजनाओं का लाभ भी मेरी ग्राम पंचायत को मिल रहा है, जैसे कि जन धन योजना, उज्ज्वला योजना, समाज कल्याण की विकलांग, विधवा और वृद्धा पेंशन भी लाभार्थियों को मिल रही है। प्रधानमंत्री गरीब अन्न योजना का मुफ्त राशन मेरी ग्राम पंचायत को मिल रहा है।
A record sales turnover of 52 crore rupees have been registered by the Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Kendra in the last month. This led to total savings of approximately 300 crore rupees as Jan Aushadhi Kendra's medicines are cheaper by 50 to 90% of the average market price.
In its fight against COVID-19, government is transforming the face of healthcare system through Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana that has been providing over 900 quality generic medicines and 154 surgical equipment at affordable prices. Presently, more than 6,300 Jan Aushadhi Kendra are functioning across the nation, covering 726 districts. With the help of Jan Aushadhi Sugam mobile app, people can locate their nearest Jan Aushadhi Kendra and get the information about the availability of medicine. Over 3,25,000 people are using this app. Bhupen Singh, AIR News, Delhi.
Arun Kumar, resident of Hatiawa village of Shekhupura, Bihar, said benefits under various government schemes have helped his family to overcome hardships during the lockdown.
बोलिए कि हम अरुण कुमार हथियामा शेखपुरा, हमें मोदी सरकार के द्वारा 20 केजी चावल, जनधन से 500 रुपया, गैस सिलेंडर, ये सब मुहैया किया गया है इस लॉकडाउन में, और इसके लिए हम मोदी सरकार को धन्यवाद।
And now, before we end, the headlines once again. Indian Armed Forces express gratitude to the Corona warriors across the country by showering flower petals, playing bands, fly pasts and lighting warships. President, Vice President and Prime Minister laud the Armed Forces for honouring COVID warriors. Coronavirus doubling rate rises to 12 days in the last 3 days. Home Ministry sets up control room to resolve complaints and issues of drivers and transporters on passage of goods carriers. Third phase of lockdown to come into effect from tomorrow. And second special relief train with 956 students reaches Dhanbad. And with that, we end the special news program on COVID-19.